G'day guys, Grazy here with another season preview. Today we're doing the Detroit Pistons. It's time for Detroit basketball! And judging by the look on Blake Griffin's face, it could be a long season in the Motor City. He's gone from Lob City to the Motor City. Last year the Pistons finished 39-43, which was a pretty good effort, but it got Stan Van Gundy fired, and he's been replaced by Coach of the Year, Dwane Casey. Dwane Casey won himself the Coach of the Year with the Toronto Raptors and was rewarded with getting the sack. Isn't that a terrific result? Now he's in Detroit, and let's have a look at this roster. Detroit basketball! Up front, things look pretty good for the Pistons, led by Big Drum Andre Drummond. Coming off a season in which he averaged 15 points and 16 rebounds a game, you can pretty much lock Big Andre in for a double-double every night, and he is very hairy, so I like that. Mid-season, they received Blake Griffin from the LA Clippers, in a trade that involved Tobias Harris and Avery Bradley going to the Clippers. Blake Griffin just continues his stellar play with his ball handling skills, dunking ability. He will be a very handy player for the Detroit Pistons, but he might not be all that happy being there. Detroit basketball! As of recording, the starting backcourt for the Detroit Pistons is scheduled to be Reggie Bullock and Reggie Jackson. That's right, it's an all-Reggie backcourt. I don't care what anyone says, that is awesome. Bullock, Jackson, the Reggies. I doubt there's been a starting backcourt with two Reggies. You really can't go wrong with that. I'm not sure if either one of them's a point guard or a shooting guard. I don't care. We start with the Reggies, and that is awesome. Detroit basketball! But where things get really exciting is when the Reggies go to the bench. What you need off the bench in today's NBA is a bit of youth and a bit of excitement. And nothing says youth and excitement like having Jameer Nelson and Jose Calderon. That's right, not one, but two 36-year-old point guards are on this roster at the time of recording. This might be the single greatest thing I have ever seen. I can't think of a good NBA team, like a champion caliber team, that hasn't had two 36-year-old veteran point guards on the bench. This is incredible. Jameer Nelson, good on him being still in the NBA. Last year he shot the ball at 36% from three before getting traded to the Pistons. In his 7-game stint with the Pistons, he managed to knock down threes at a remarkable 7%. Jameer Nelson had that one good season in Orlando. Remember when he was really good? I think it was 1997 when he was back there with Penny Hardaway. In all seriousness, good on Jameer, he's been a solid player for his entire career. Very similar to Jose Calderon. Jose Calderon is 36 years old, and this marks the 10th consecutive season that Jose Calderon has been 36 years. Sometimes he has a shave, but he is not 36 years old. Good on him for still being in the NBA as well. And the rest of this squad isn't much better. Stanley Johnson, 22 years old, I feel like he has been in the NBA for at least a decade. I remember when he was chirping at LeBron in the playoffs a few years ago, and I thought he was going to be a very, very good player, but he just hasn't taken that next step. Still 22, hopefully there's time for him to find his ceiling. The rest of the bench, Glenn Robinson III, he was in a dunk contest once, and Langston Galloway. Langston came from nowhere with the Knicks and has actually turned into a pretty solid NBA player, and he's a player who can provide some threes off that bench just in case Jose and Jameer need a rest. They also have Ish Smith. Ish started the season with the same team he finished the year before. That's the first time in his career. Good on you, Ish. But there is good news on this bench. They picked up two-time world champion centre Zaza Pachulia. Zaza single-handedly brought down the San Antonio Spurs dynasty by possum stomping Kawhi Leonard's foot through Oracle Arena. That has pretty much ended their franchise. Zaza nearly ended the Warriors dynasty by falling into Kevin Durant's knee. He's fallen on top of Russell Westbrook as well. Zaza might be the clumsiest player in the NBA, but he is a good guy and he is a solid veteran to have around. Detroit basketball! All up, I just don't see this Pistons team going very far this season. Even in the Eastern Conference, I don't think they make it in. I think they blow this team up, and I think Dwane Casey's really got his work ahead of him, and he'd be wishing he was back in Toronto very, very quickly. What do you guys think? What do you think happens with this Detroit Pistons basketball team? As always, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you want to give that a thumbs up, maybe even a subscribe, that would be much appreciated. If there's a team or a player you'd like to see reviewed, leave it in the comments and I'll do my best. Thank you very much.